Hello, baby gangsters. This is Calvin, also known as Roman. This is my first ever playthrough of Genshin Impact. We're still here in Inazuma, and today we're going to be doing Kazuha's story quest. I'm very excited. More than excited.
It's been a while since we first set foot on Inazuma.
It has been. It's been, well, in real time, it's been about 2 months. In this time period, a lot of time, because we go through a lot of day-night cycles.
So many things have happened since then.
There were many memorable events.
Yeah, we've definitely made some progress on
Heck
our
yeah.
journey.
For sure.
So, where should we go today?
Oh, we noticed something?
Huh? What's up?
Oh, wow. Someone's coming. What the heck?
Hey, what the heck was that for?
Sudden attacker.
Doesn't want to talk, huh? All right, let's convince him to calm down a little.
Okay, Paimon. Her personality is so infectious all the time. I freaking love it.
Rain outlines your fate. Clouds high. The birds come.
Oh, wait, what?
Huh? So you don't have a vision after all.
Wait, is that why you attacked me?
Someone else.
Okay, dude, you still hit me, so let's settle this then.
At the very least, you should make sure you've got the right person before you go
Exactly,
attacking
Paimon
them.
gets it. Paimon gets it.
No, wait. Even when you've got the right person, you shouldn't go attacking them out of the blue. It's dangerous.
Mother Paimon.
Have you ever met someone by the name of Kaedahara Kazuha?
Well, we're gonna kill you now if you're attacking Kazuha.
He carries a sword just like you. I've also heard that he possesses an animo vision.
Why are you looking for him? This is me. Every time, but by the way, when someone asks, have you seen this person? Always say like, unless it's like something more like, I'm always in the no camp, or what are you looking for him for camp. You never know what someone's looking for someone for.
That's none of your business.
Dude, you attacked us? I think it's our business now. Yeah, exactly, Paimon. Exactly, weirdo.
Never mind. You don't look like you know
No,
anything
if you're gonna attack, if he's gonna
anyway.
attack Kazuha, let's
I'm
get him.
wasting my time.
If he's gonna attack Kazuha, let's get him. Let's end him right now.
What the heck is this guy's problem? Coming around here, waving that weird sword in our faces, and he didn't even apologize.
Exactly.
Seems like a real nutcase.
Paimon is like,
Well,
she's so
one
smart.
thing's for sure. No
What a gal.
way are we telling him anything about Kazuha?
Couldn't agree more. No, she is smart. Paimon's always smart.
Right? Paimon has a feeling, though, that even if this guy gets to challenge Kazuha to a duel, he won't be able
Yeah,
to
Kazuha
beat
would
him.
murder him.
Anyway, just to be on the safe side, we should go fight Kazuha right away and tell him to watch his back.
Actually, I have a hunch.
Oh? What kind of hunch?
I think that guy may have a special connection to Kazuha.
A special connection? You mean beyond already knowing each other?
I feel their fight styles are kind of similar. I didn't even notice because we were just doing a lot of elemental damage very quickly.
Yeah, maybe a little. But then again, most people look pretty much the same once they start fighting, so that doesn't really prove anything. Anyway, there's no time to lose. Let's go tell Kazuha so we won't get into any danger.
Yeah, 100%.
I
Honestly,
heard that the Crux fleet is stocking up in Rito at the moment.
Yep.
Let's look for him there.
honestly, Paimon, like, if I can be honest with you, I would have personally just stopped that lad right then and there. You know? Like, we have the power to do it, and if someone's coming after our friend, someone who's helped us quite a bit too, you know, if we're like if someone's like, hey, I'm fine then, I'll leave you. I'll just go after your friend. Why not just like slap him around the place a little bit, you know? You can say that's a bit too aggressive. This guy tried to kill us right away. That's why he was trying to do the Kazuha. I have a feeling that we should just attack him. Okay, so first of all, I want to show there is some changes I made to some party members. I think we have this weapon we're able to get this to plus. Oh, we can't enhance this just yet. We'll be able to enhance it today. But what weapon was it? This weapon I can actually like level up if I wanted to, if we had more funds. In terms of artifacts, I don't have like 5 stars on every single character, but what I do have is like a better like grip on like what I want for the characters, I suppose, that I did before. You know what I mean? There's a better like, you know, it's better than it is before, for sure. And I think that's like absolutely fair. You know what I mean? I feel like they're not terrible at all, and it has helped quite a bit. I still want to get maybe some, but then again, like I think getting characters level 90 isn't something I want to do entirely, just because I want to make sure I can get every other character I want to level 80 as well. And also, like, when it comes to, like, doing the hangout quests, I hope we get enough key. Like, I'm for sure we're gonna have enough keys to do Kazuha, to do Haizu, I should say, right? And then Kuki, we should have enough keys to do as well, right? I'm so worried about not having enough keys to do every single hangout that I want to do before we go there. And if we don't, that's fine. Like, I'm not gonna, like, get really, really upset about it. I've also recorded the full episode for Through the Mists. I have the full mission completely done. It will be released in one video. And actually, I'm very glad with the way it turned out. So you can get, which, if you're watching that video right before we go to Sumeru, and it's like, wait, this is really weird. He's way behind where he was before. His artifacts are weird and all this stuff. It's probably just because of that. That's the only reason.
Hey, hello. Do you know where Kazuha is?
You're looking for Kazuha too, huh? Guess he must have done something impressive.
Oh, someone else was looking for him. He only attacked us because we thought we were Kazuha.
Well, we took the small vessels into Rito on a routine supply run, only this time, as soon as we entered the harbor, we ran into a huge crowd of Inazumans, all of them wanting to know about Kazuha.
What?
If it's because of that battle on Nizuchi Beach, Captain Beto had a great run there too, but I don't see her getting this kind of attention.
Yeah, I wonder what that's about.
Kazuha keeps to himself most of the time. In fact, there are times when he doesn't even listen to the captain, but she just laughs it off.
Yeah, he does. We kind of got that vibe that he does, like, kind of like keep to himself. Whenever there's a festival going on, he always, like, is in the furthest part away from the festival.
Oh, so you still don't know what he did.
I've heard bits and pieces. Something about him blocking the Raiden Shogun's...
See, that's probably why.
Hitotachi.
That's probably why everyone's looking for him. It was a pretty impressive moment.
Is it really as big a deal as everyone's making it out to be?
You could compare it to the technique Baidu used to strike down Haishin.
Really? Wow. When you put it like that, it all makes sense. In that case, his newfound stardom is well deserved.
Like, yeah.
He was called away earlier by some people from the Tenryou Commission. They said they had something important to discuss with him.
Oh, God.
I thought they'd come to arrest him at first. Turns out they couldn't have been friendlier to him. Seems like they really respect the guy.
I would not let him be arrested.
A while ago, this would have been completely unimaginable.
They probably want some goodwill. After all, the Raiden Shogun's mindset has changed. True.
Thank you. Guess we'll go pay a visit
lovely
to
thank
the
you.
Tenryou Commission.
All right, then. I'll just stay here and carry on trying to fend off the crowd.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like, I'm still, maybe I'm just, like, very, like, you guys know I'm very rebellion-minded. I'm very, like, resistance-minded when it comes to stuff like this. Like, I'm always like, hey, let's back up for people. If they, hey, it's you. Huh. If they arrested Kazuha, not only would we break him out of prison, whoever was responsible would not be able to make up an excuse. I'm saying that to you right now, guys. Whoever's responsible would not be able to make up an excuse. It would be over. Well, the Tenryou Commission's far away. I forgot about this. And there's certain stuff with leveling up characters now that, like, obviously, like, I'm hitting a little bit, like in terms of talents, to show you here, like, we actually have, our characters have pretty good talents. Like, obviously, I want to get higher talents for, our boy Benny here, higher talents. So I want to get to at least 6 with, like, almost every single character, right? You can get higher. You definitely, we need to level up the talent. Actually, we probably could now. Yeah, we could. For Sayu. You know what I mean? It's kind of like definitely could level up these talents, but we need more Mora. That's the problem. Mora is the problem now. Remember before we would have got arrested here? But yeah, the roadblock is usually fighting bosses. A lot of people suggested that, like, I do, like, co-op videos where, like, I let people come in and, like, destroy my bosses, but even, like, do it offline even, or even on a stream or something. Come in and destroy my bosses. Because, like, all the bosses are fine. The boss that hurts the most, Azaheda. That, like, I'm able to defeat him, but it's like, oh my god, like, every week. So here is it with the leader of the Tenryou Commission. The music is a bit tense.
It's you.
How you doing, bud?
Greetings. We were just discussing the repealing of the Vision Hunt decree. Since you're here, you're very welcome to listen in on the conversation.
Okay.
We invited Mr. Kaidahara here to extend a gesture of goodwill on behalf of the shogunate.
That actually makes perfect sense. The one person who was like probably the most famous fugitive in all of this.
Your hard work has secured for us the agreeable state of affairs that we now enjoy. Also, I've been granted the chance to correct my clan's past mistakes, and for that, I'm deeply grateful.
Sick.
The Almighty Shogun has issued a large array of directives aimed at resolving, or at least easing, the tensions that have built up over the years.
Yeah, we've been saying this, that there's a lot of healing going on. You know, we saw that in the Otto's quest. We saw that in the Iridori festival, like just yesterday. We saw all this stuff. Like, it keeps happening over and over. There is like a healing that's happening, and everyone's kind of attempting to like make it work.
The Tri-Commission has made the recommendation to use this
So beautiful.
opportunity to restore the honor of the Kaidahara name. Regarding the history of the Kaidahara clan, I trust that you're already somewhat informed?
I've heard a thing or two.
In short, there was once a group of select bladesmiths who served the shogun directly, responsible for upholding and further developing the traditional blade forging arts of the almighty shogun. The Kaidahara clan belonged to this class.
Yeah, and we also learned that they were like disgraced from making, but they were actually just like framed when it came to making it like bad equipment. And I think the one of the family members knew about this, but didn't I guess, how do I say it? Like, he knew about this, but didn't openly admit it yet, or didn't like admit it to the rest of the family. He wanted them to find the ability to make those blades themselves again. So they're kind of disgraced in that sense.
But there came a time when some of these bladesmiths revolted and fled to Snezhnaya. Both the Kaidahara and Kamisato clans were held accountable for lax oversight and entered a period of great turmoil. We later learned that the whole misadventure had been secretly orchestrated by the Fatui. Attributing all of the blame to the Kamisato and Kaidahara clans was neither proper nor just.
Yeah, there was a lot of unjust things happening in this world.
Considering Mr. Kaidahara has once more made an outstanding contribution to Inazuma, the almighty shogun believes he should not only be rewarded for his achievements, but also receive recompense for the excessive punishment borne by his clan in the past.
I think that's so fair. I don't know if they're going to do it publicly, but word will travel. You know, word will travel that this is a change in the administration.
In the interest of preventing further harassment of the Bladesmith clans by the Fatui, we chose not to publicly release the findings of our investigations into these matters. We trust you can understand why this was necessary.
So I think what he's saying here is that if he releases the findings that the Fatui were responsible for this, and the Fatui would be like, okay, well then let's if they know it's us anyway, let's go in and harass someone else.
This is a true honor. I am delighted to be in a position to receive the goodwill of the almighty shogun and the shogunate at large.
He's so respectful. He's so respectful.
However, would I be correct to assume that this magnanimous gesture does not come without some strings attached?
I can assure you that nothing could be further from the truth. We seek only to correct a past injustice.
Well, let's see what
With the Kaidahara clan's reputation and occupation restored, the Kaidaharas will be bladesmiths once more, and your wanderings will finally come to an end.
I don't know, I think he likes wandering.
You will be able to lead a safe and prosperous life in Inazuma City with the almighty shogun's blessing and full support of the shogunate.
I love the reaction of Paimon and Wander here. It's not a reaction of like they're waiting to see his reaction.
To life among the elements. I fear I would no longer feel at home behind the tall walls of a stately abode.
There you go.
Yet
That's
my
fair.
ancestors did indeed take great pride in the name of Kaidahara and the art of blade making for which it stood.
That's such a fair way of looking at it.
You have a responsibility to restore their honor.
I sense some hesitation in your words. Should you accept this offer, I imagine many of the malicious rumors currently circulating through the populace will disappear.
What rumors?
Malicious rumors? All we heard on the way here was so much praise that we almost wondered whether there was another Kaidahara Kazuha.
Well, to some, the Musono Hitotachi is something that can never be defeated. They cannot accept the idea that Mr. Kaidahara really parried the shogun's strike.
Okay.
Also, eyewitnesses saw him using the power of Electro in addition to that of Anemo. As a result, the falsehood that Kaidahara Kazuha was using a delusion began to spread.
And that's all it takes. Is if something spreads like that, it starts spreading like wildfire.
What? But that doesn't make sense. Using a delusion turns you old and frail, and Kazuha still looks fine.
You can say that again.
That is correct. However, to some people, the idea of a single person wielding two elements at once is a more inconceivable notion still.
This is just one of many similar rumors. I am very uncomfortable with being the subject of public discussion, no matter whether it brings suspicion or stardom my way.
And yes, they've written his character so well that we like 100% believe this right away. We've seen him in all the times he does not like to take credit for stuff.
But perhaps if the shogunate is willing to publicly support me, this situation will blow over more quickly.
This is precisely why I encourage you to give our offer some serious thought. It stands to benefit all of us.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, it's a very political game. Like, it's more political than is given credit for. Like, you know what I mean? It's more political than like the actual Game of Thrones show was in a lot of ways. Like, the hand that feeds you. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's probably a bad way of putting it. It's like the handshake that you accept. Like, is not just one that's always of like, friendliness and cordialness. What it sometimes is, the handshake has like years of pent up like disagreements, and then it has like a new deal embedded in it. You're not just gonna get something for free all the time in Inazuma, especially now when they're trying their best to like make this like seem a lot better than it is, and like rebuild things, make people happier with the way the situations are going in Inazuma, and heal Inazuma. They're gonna be like working this way to try and do it. And what I'm saying is like using a person who was so not only wrongly accused, his friend was murdered by the Raiden Shogun. He also like was a fugitive of the Raiden Shogun and the commission, and wasn't allowed even on Inazuma for the most part. He avoided the Vision Hunt decree. He now apparently has also stopped the blade of the Raiden Shogun. All this together, if they get him to kind of like publicly be like, yeah, everything's cool, everything's great, I'm glad to take this honor, it would go a long way.
Please allow me some time to consider. In fact, let us put this discussion on hold for the moment. Well then, what brings the two of you here?
Yikes! We nearly forgot about the most important thing!
Yeah, Kazuha does that to people, right?
Why would such a dangerous individual be looking for me?
Do you have any siblings?
No. This puzzles me as much as it does you. My fighting forms were taught to me by my family, based on techniques originally developed for blade testing. We undergo rigorous training to standardize every motion the blade is put through, so that each can be fairly assessed for quality. Over time, these techniques came to form something of a Kaidahara sword art, focused on blade testing, but with a full repertoire of combat forms.
That's pretty cool. Like, because they were making blades, the actual combat they have is like first focusing on actually the testing of them.
Those forms are quite different from the more practical ones typically used by samurai in battle. So it's hard to imagine that the similarity you speak of was coincidence alone.
There we go.
All the more reason to watch your back. This guy was a serious nutcase.
Indeed. He sounds highly aggressive. Anyone he targets is at risk of serious injury, or worse.
In that case, I will send some men out immediately to search for him.
Thank you. I must say I am now very curious about this matter, and I will also need some time to consider your offer.
Yeah, I actually really appreciate this quite a bit. Like, just the story itself. Like, I actually do think that, once again, Inazuma is like a very political story, but it all makes perfect sense, and I love the way they do it.
I will first join the Traveler in investigating the one who attacked him.
Yeah.
Then give you a conclusive answer upon my return.
Very well. Please stay safe.
No bother.
Come on. Let's go and track down your aggressor.
Oh man, yeah, little trip of Kazuha. This feels like obviously not the same. You know when like
The agency knows the most about what goes on in town. Let's see what Ryuji has to say.
Okay. Like it feels like you know, like when you want to go like when Toph wanted to go on a trip with when Toph wanted to go on a trip with Zuko, you know, it's my turn for a trip with Zuko. It's my turn for a trip with Kazuha. Yeah, like it just makes perfect sense that Kazuha would be in this position as well. You can see it as kind of nasty 100%. But what they're trying to do in Inazuma, and we've seen this whether it be with the festival, we talked about this, it's just the healing. They're trying to heal this place as fast as possible. And while, you know, it will take a while for people to like change their position on things, I think that the sooner they make like little changes, the better. And they've been doing that, whether it be releasing the decree, which is a big change, but you know what I mean? Like stuff that's very doable. Releasing the decree, giving people back their visions, ending the civil war. They're huge things, but also little tiny things like, hey, you can now, you know, buy food from this region. You can now do this region. Which again, I say tiny things, but that's also a big deal for like smaller families. You know, I can now sell my fish like away from Inazuma. That's incredible. I can now sell my products here. Oh, people can come here and sell their products like this. Like that's a big deal. So maybe all the small things I'm saying are small things are actually big things to other people, you know? But yeah, I guess just making as much changes as possible that are doable right now is the best way to go, because you can't bring people back to life. They're lucky to have someone like Kazuha, who's not only just a beautiful person inside and out, he's also just like someone who is very respectful and appreciates Inazuma to the point that he just wants it to heal as well.
Hey there, we'd like to ask you a quick question.
2 quick questions. What do you think of Kazuha? He's pretty cool, huh?
Do you know if anyone around here has been looking for him? For Kazuha, we mean.
Kaidehara is such a beautiful name too.
Aha! So this is the renowned Mr. Kaidehara. I've heard a lot about you. It is an honor to finally meet you today.
You are too kind. We are currently investigating an assault and would appreciate any help you can offer.
Oh? You were targeted in an assault? Let me think. I can't seem to recall anything of immediate interest. Mr. Kaidehara is currently the talk of the town, so there are always a lot of people looking for him.
Right.
To be honest with you, our detective agency has recently been receiving many inquiries from people wishing to obtain Mr. Kaidehara's personal information. Some of them were offering us millions of mora just to gather the information they want. If these were more legitimate commissions, Sango would have snapped them up in an instant.
Millions of mora?
Please,
Sorry for
accept
skipping
my
there,
thanks for
Paimon.
looking out for my privacy.
Of course. No matter what, we only take on legitimate cases. We don't make our money by revealing details of other people's day-to-day life just for the sake of it. Sorry, I got a little off topic. What I'm really trying to say is, it doesn't surprise me that a complete stranger is looking for Mr. Kaidehara.
Okay.
But I wouldn't know where to begin if we want to connect this with an assault.
Then let's put that connection aside for now. Have there been any other attacks or similar incidents recently that stand out as particularly unusual? The Tenryou Commission had very few leads, and I thought
His
you
voice
might
is
have
so
some
nice.
information from different sources.
It's true that the commissioners aren't clued up about every little thing that goes on out in the streets. But typically, it's only the most trivial events that manage to escape their attention. If anyone had been out there attacking people, that would be assault, in which case the Tenryou Commission would absolutely get involved.
Right. I will say though, Tenryou Commission, in Konda Village, there's like a bunch of lovely elderly people and children living there. There are guys there that will assault you on sight that are just hanging out outside the village. If you could look into that, that'd be great.
That does make sense. Uh-oh. Looks like the trail's already run cold.
I still find it difficult to believe that whoever attacked you hasn't been causing any trouble elsewhere.
Yeah.
Few people possess your prowess in battle. So unless you were the first person he targeted, someone is certain to have been hurt by now.
Is that your way of giving us praise?
I am well aware of your talents. There is no need to be humble around me.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm quite relieved that you were the one he targeted.
Man, do you want to stay with us? This is awful. Every time we have like a story quest, I want them to stay with us. Like Shenhe should still be with us. Shenhe, whether you like it or not, we all like it actually. But it's just like Shenhe should be with us. Shenhe should be the third party member. Like she should be. Like right, she fit right in. She was like so perfect for us, and she's not here.
It would cause me great grief to see someone become critically injured or lose their life because of me.
Yeah.
For the poor victim, this would be a completely senseless crime.
Don't worry, we'll find him.
It seems you are every bit the selfless hero they make you out to be, Mr. Kaidehara. Surely this same concern for your fellow man is what drove you to fearlessly raise your blade against the almighty
Man, everyone knows about. Of
shogun.
course, everyone knows about this.
You flatter me. Truth be told, I don't know quite what came over me in that moment.
I think legit what came over him is that he didn't want the same thing that happened to his friend to happen to us.
You are much too humble. Don't worry, I completely understand your concerns. I will try my best to gather whatever leads I can for you.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, there was one strange incident over the last few days. It doesn't involve an attack, though. Let me tell you about it just in case.
Sure. During times like this, the more information we have, the better.
All right then. Recently, 2 people went missing from the city at around the same time. One of them is a pretty well-known collector, surnamed Nagato. The other, Amenoma Yuya, is a samurai from the Amenoma clan.
Okay.
Amenoma. Now there's a familiar name.
Right. Yuya is the nephew of Amenoma Togo, the owner of Amenoma Smithy.
Right.
2 grown men going missing at the same time. Their cases are likely connected, but I don't know much in the way of details. I recalled this because Amenoma Yuya is also an accomplished martial artist who is skilled with the blade. Perhaps he is the one you are looking for.
Understood, though it seems highly unlikely to me. I neither know this man, nor do I have any idea why he may wish to attack me.
We'll investigate both instances at the same time.
Sure, can't hurt. We never know what we might find out along the way.
Thank you, Ryuji. We'll start by making some inquiries at the Amenoma Smithy.
Sounds good. All the best with your investigation. I'll get moving shortly myself.
So yeah, very cool stuff here. Very cool stuff. I think that like what's so cool about like the conversations we're having here with just like I don't want to say basic characters because there are people who live here and there are people who are alive here as well. But it's always good to talk about to characters that are not like, you know, big story-based characters because you get to get a feel for like how they feel in this world too and how people, how the regular people feel.
Ah, if it isn't Kaedehara Kazuha, what brings you here today?
Huh? You two know each other?
Yes, the Kaedehara and Amenoma clans were both members of the Raiden Gokaden. Historically, there have always been deep links between the two.
It makes sense the two blacksmiths clans would know each other.
After I returned to Inazuma, I visited Mr. Amenoma to pay my respects.
Raiden Gokaden.
Let me quickly explain. The Raiden Gokaden was the collective term
We've
for
heard
the
this
5
before.
most
We've heard
acclaimed
Gokaden before, for sure.
bladesmithing arts in Inazuma.
Yeah.
The techniques of blade making were personally bequeathed to the Raiden Gokaden by the almighty shogun, and over time, further honed and enhanced by the most talented craftsmen. Unfortunately, a series of events led to the gradual decline of many clans in the bladesmithing trade. Today, only the Amenoma clan has kept its art alive.
So sad.
It is a great pity indeed.
I'm so sorry for like it literally. I have to take the finger off the X. It slipped so badly.
The abiding patience and determination of water, as it turns stone to sand. There is nothing mystical to our work. There is only practice, day in and day out, until both body and mind have memorized the craft, turning each motion of every technique into an intrinsic part of the bladesmith's life.
Right.
As for the art of the Kaedehara clan, I believe it's called the Isshin art.
That's right. Isshin art strives for complete harmony between blade and mind from the moment that forging begins. For only a blade thus forged can capture and convey its maker's thoughts and feelings, and eventually become an extension of its wielder's will.
That definitely sounds really sick.
Indeed. Most samurai choose their blades, but an Isshin blade chooses its owner. You are, without a doubt, the most worthy wielder of an Isshin blade. It gladdens my heart to see that although the Kaedehara clan has fallen on hard times, its ideals and virtues are alive and well.
You
This is really cool, just two like blacksmiths
My
clans like
actions
talking
are
to each
guided
other.
by my own personal sentiments, not by any noble aspirations on behalf of my
Right.
clan. But let's get back on topic. The purpose of our visit today is to gather some information on your missing nephew. We hope to assist with the investigation. It may turn out that this case is connected to another we are pursuing.
Ah, yes. My nephew. I reported the case to the Tenryou Commission, but I haven't heard anything back so far. He didn't say a word before he left, which is very unlike him. I'm still completely at a loss on what to make of it.
Whenever like I was like a bit younger, and like I remember like if any person I cared about, like you didn't hear from them for like they usually hear from, you didn't hear about from them for like at least like 4 hours. I used to be like, oh my god. Even now I would say that like if I don't get a text from someone, I usually get a text from 2 days. And like I text them and they don't answer. Maybe there's something on. Usually it's like, oh, sorry, I was busy with something or something like that. You get kind of worried, you know? I can only imagine what it's like for someone to leave your, especially in these times when you can't just get in direct contact with them.
But I've done what I can so far. Worrying is futile. All I can do now is wait for the news from the Tenryou Commission.
We heard that there was a collector involved in the disappearance too. Know anything about that?
Yes. On the morning that Yuya went missing, he gave me a very cryptic look and said that he was going to give me a great gift.
Right.
I believe he went to collect the item from Mr. Nagato after that. The next thing I heard was that a fire had broken out at the warehouse, and neither of them came back.
Yeah, fire.
Yes. Strange, isn't it? I wonder what could have caused it. Unfortunately, there was very little evidence left behind, so nobody knows what really happened.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on what Yuya may have wanted to give you?
If I had to guess, it must have been some kind of rare weapon. Otherwise, there would have been no reason for him to get my hopes up. He's never been particularly interested in blade forging, but has always had a fondness for blade testing, and can sense even the most minute differences in blade quality.
Jesus, man. Like, I know, like, it's so cool that they have people that are this talented, like.
He is extraordinarily talented in martial arts, particularly when it comes to the art of the sword.
Truth be told, we have some information that you may find to be objectionable. The person we are looking for.
Oh, yeah, if it is
he
him.
attacked this friend of mine. Based on the evidence we have gathered so far, only Yuya seems to match the suspect's profile.
Paimon folding the arms. Case closed, she says. Look, I rest my case.
What? No. Absolutely impossible.
Hugo, you're going to
He
jail.
is not that kind of person. He is humble and kind. Even his training is done with the goal of calming his mind. He has never gotten into a fight before.
Is that so?
Yes. If there's one thing I can say for certain, it's that Yuya would never draw his blade without a very good reason. But, with that said, it's equally out of character for him to just disappear with neither farewell nor fair warning. I also cannot know what course of action he might be capable of if coerced or otherwise compelled by circumstances unbeknownst to me. Anyway, should you find him, please let me know as soon as possible.
Sure.
Don't worry. You have our word.
Yeah, there's like, that's what you always see like behind these missions. There's people that care about these people.
Paimon doesn't think Yuya was the one who attacked us as well.
We still need to get information from the Nagato family.
Yes. It sounds as if something happened when the two men met each other. Let's pay a visit to the Nagato household.
This is so interesting, man. Yeah, because like what it is like it's like a clash of like two households first of all when it comes to like the blacksmith. So I wonder if it has something to do with like the blacksmith family, with the Kadihara clan. You know, it could, it definitely could, and it seemed like a big point when it came to like the conversations we had during the Iridori festival. You know, it meant a lot to Inazuma. when it comes to this stuff. I cannot believe that like we've been here for like, I think we came here when, June? Did we came? No, we didn't. We came here in like maybe May, right? I forget the actual date when we came here. We spent, like, we're gonna end up spending less time here than we did in Liyue, I think. But I could be wrong. But I think because the Archon quest is a lot quicker, or at least it went by a lot quicker. Sorry, it's over here. That's not a complaint. Like, for me, I really enjoyed the Archon quest in this game. I really enjoyed the characters. I actually loved the political nature of it. It was great. It was really cool. She can't see me here.
I'm very sorry, but we cannot afford to pay what we owe right now.
Who do you owe money to and I'll get him, okay? I hate when I hear this. It makes me cry so much. Who do you owe money to? I will kill them.
My husband has gone missing, and I'm still trying to find him.
Tell me who you owe money to, and we will go rough them up. Paimon will literally mother them into the ground.
No, you misunderstand us. We are
Great
here
voice
to
acting
help
there.
with the investigation. We'd like to ask you some questions about Mr. Nagato's disappearance, if we may.
Ah, I see. I thought the debt collectors had come to visit again.
Girl, tell us who they are.
I'm sorry you have to see me in this dreadful state. Has some new information come out? Do you know where he's gone?
I'm afraid we don't have any new information at the moment. We're still trying to find out as much as we can to inform our search. With this in mind, can we perhaps ask some questions about your family's current situation?
For example, Paimon's struggling to understand why a collector would be strapped for Mora.
That's a long story. Ever since I've known him, he's been an avid collector of all sorts of things. He'd always get so animated when he was showing them to me. I knew nothing about the items myself, but seeing how enthusiastic and excited they made him, I was happy to believe that they were just extremely important to him. Everything was fine when we first got married, but as time went by, things changed for the worse.
Uh-oh, what happened?
He lost his sense of restraint. He started buying more and more things.
Oh, man.
And even resorted to borrowing money just so he could pay for them.
It's actually something, believe it or not, like, I've never had that type of, like, yeah, it can be very devastating. And, like, you know, and also, like, buying things, like, how I've talked about this with my friends before, how, like, when they're sad, they'll say, like, I have the urge to buy something. It is, like, you know, if you're trying to fill a hole, it can feel like sometimes buying things would be, like, what fills that hole. Like, as video game fans, like, how many times do we buy games and we don't play them? I'm trying to get out of that sense right now, because, like, right now I'm like, okay, like, finish all the games I have now, then I'll buy more games. Because, you know, when you're like, oh, this game's on sale, it won't be on sale for another while. It's like, no, dude, that game will be on sale 2 months from now when you finish all your other games. Okay.
Our expenses really spiraled out of control when he started getting interested in weapons. It was awful. There were days when he'd spend hours down at the warehouse admiring his weapons, even as debt collectors were descending upon our house.
Oh, man.
He wouldn't sell them, wouldn't even touch them. Just sat there staring at them like he was in a trance. I'm happy he has a hobby, and I'm willing to support him. But making ends meet has to come first.
You're right.
I've tried talking to him about it so many times, but he never listens.
I mean, that's totally fair. Like, again, as, like, video game fans, we understand that, like, you know, rent, electricity, food comes before all of that. All of that.
On the last day that I saw him, I gave him an ultimatum. I said, if he refused to sell his collectibles and pay off his debts, I would divorce him and take the children with me.
Sounds like she was at her last, attempt here.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's a big deal, Paimon.
And that led to an argument.
An argument? It should have led to, like, fear, man.
Actually, it didn't.
Oh.
Generally, he's a quiet man who likes to go with the flow. On most things, he leaves the decision-making
Apart
to
from
me.
collecting.
You must understand, I never would have dreamed of threatening him with divorce if the debts hadn't pushed our family to the brink. After I said those words, he froze and was silent for a long time. When he finally spoke, he awkwardly mumbled that he would pick out a few items to sell.
So he understood at least the gravity of the situation.
His voice was so meek and pitiful that
Yeah.
I felt an urge to take everything back. But then what?
That's tough.
If I didn't draw the line, what would happen to our family?
This line, it's important to set boundaries, yes, because what happens is, even though it's a sad thing, like, you know, and a lot of people are like, it's not that big of a deal, but like selling the things you love, you know, to make some ends meet, like, I can never manage it because like, it's like, what it is, it's like, that is one of my favorite, like, it's one of your favorite things, but it kind of feels a bit demeaning sometimes too, even though you have to do it sometimes, but her taking back what she said there would be the worst thing she could do, because then the boundaries that she set would be, she shows that any boundary she set can be crossed over with just a little bit of a pushback, because he looked a bit pitiful and meek.
Had I not indulged his bad habits, we wouldn't have found ourselves in such a predicament.
I mean, it's difficult to confront someone you love.
And I also don't know if he had actually come to his senses, or if he was simply angry with me. The next thing I heard
like a quiet
was that
anger?
our warehouse had caught fire, and both he and the buyer had gone missing.
I see. I understand.
Girl, let me kill the debt collectors. Like, I'll do it.
Amenoma Yuya came to purchase a weapon from Mr. Nagato. During the sale, a fire broke out at the warehouse, and both men disappeared.
At first, I assumed they must have gotten into an argument over the price. But my husband has never been one to negotiate. He never even haggles when he's out buying groceries, so it's hard to imagine him getting into a fierce argument.
Right. It sounds like she has set him up as being very meek and kind of like
Maybe he
timid.
was feeling the pressure from the debts?
I don't know. He just disappeared after the warehouse burned down. Perhaps
I feel for
he's
this
too
girl so
afraid to
much,
come
man.
home,
And him
now
as
that all
well.
his collectibles have been lost in the fire, and he's got no way to pay off our debts. Even though I'm still a little mad at him, we're a family, and I want us to face our family's crisis together.
Yeah. You know, nothing that you said today has indicated that you don't care.
As long as he's willing to turn over a new leaf, I know we can work things out.
Please don't get upset. There could be more to this situation than meets the eye. If collecting things is a habit that Mr. Nagato had his whole life, it is quite unusual for this habit to change so drastically over a short period.
Yeah.
But the information we gathered from the other side suggests Amenoma Yuya is also a mild-mannered man who would not be likely to start an argument. This situation is getting a little confusing.
A little confusing? More like completely mystifying.
Let's try a change of scenery and see if we can piece together what we've learned.
Man, such a good idea.
Rest assured, we'll notify you if we find anything.
Thank you so much. I just want him to come home.
Whenever like I know it sounds so pretentious, like currently I'm writing my comic I want to write, right? I think I've talked about this before on the channel.
Based on the information we've gathered so far, I can only surmise that the sales meeting between the two men was somehow the catalyst for their disappearance.
Yeah. And all I was just going to say is that sometimes a change of scenery is such a big deal. If I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do, and then like I just like literally like step outside and like play with my cats for a bit, and I'm like, oh. Or like, you know, by the way, they're kind of indoor outdoor. Like sometimes they'll come outside and like then I'll just like let them play outside for a bit. But yeah, they like and that like clears your mind. In this case, I think the reason why he wanted to go somewhere different was because he didn't want to talk about it in front of the girl.
The fire at the warehouse likely played a part in how the situation unfolded, though its exact role is a mystery. Do you have any thoughts?
Well, Paimon was thinking that maybe someone accidentally knocked over an oil lamp and, nope, never mind. Paimon's brain needs to
It's
rest
okay.
for a while. Over to you.
Perhaps the fire was deliberately used to hide the truth. We are missing crucial information.
Right. I very much agree with you. It
Paimon's
seems highly
made an
likely
attempt.
that we're missing a piece of the puzzle. Working off what we know so far, there are too many things that don't add up. The chances are that there are still some clues left for us to discover. One fact that I keep coming back to is that Amenoma Yuya is polite and well-mannered, while Mr. Nagato is introverted and passive.
Yeah.
Neither seems like the type of person who is inclined towards initiating
So is there a third
conflict.
party involved in this?
Mr. Nagato, being heavily in debt, is also the only one of them with the potential motive to disappear after the fire. The more I ponder it, the more puzzling it becomes. Just what could have happened there?
This also doesn't seem connected to the case of the attacker.
Right. Although the time frame seems to broadly match, no other details that we've learned seem to link the two events together. Amenoma Yuya lacks a key distinguishing feature of the attacker, namely that he is principally a practitioner of the blade testing techniques of Amenoma art, not those of the combat-oriented Isshin art.
Darn! We thought we could get two birds with one stone here, but at this rate, it's starting to look like a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
Let's keep going, since we've come this far.
Heck yeah.
If we can solve the case, both Mr. Amenoma and Mrs. Nagato will be able to get some closure.
We could help 3 people at once.
Okay, but where should we go now?
Let's head out of the city and check out the warehouse. There's still a chance we may be able to find some shreds of evidence.
Half of this game, and I'm very happy with this, is just like a bunch of like really lovely characters dragging you around the place. You know what I mean? It's just, that's what this game is most days. It's like literally like, come here with me. Okay, come this way. Follow me this way. Let's go this way. And I'm not complaining. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's a very interesting way they're doing the story. And the fact that we get to do it with Kazuha is pretty cool too. Man, I'm like so like I'm buzzing because like I really felt like going into like this and heading towards Sumeru was going to be very, very difficult just because there's so much to do. But it's actually like incredibly manageable. And we're going to have a cleanup episode that's actually going to be very long. It's going to be a very long cleanup episode. But that's going to air the day before we go to Sumeru. And that is going to be like maybe even a 5-hour video.
Wait. I hear something ominous in the wind.
Oh no.
Oh! This must be another one of those sounds that only you can hear.
Yeah, possibly.
As sketchy as that whole thing seems, you did put it to good use when we were chasing down that vision thief at Bladesmithing.
Yes.
So...
Yeah, honestly, yeah, that was great.
Now I'm picking up a strong scent in addition to the sound. It's right around here somewhere.
He's very good at this stuff. Behind the shrine? Wait, what?
But there's nothing here.
It's gone now. But
I heard some footsteps though, right?
It left in. It felt very much like that ancient presence in Inazuma.
What?
The remnants of the Tatarigami.
That's one thing I did not expect to encounter here.
But this unexpected spring of inauspicious energy may prove to be of benefit to our investigation.
Sure.
We should remain vigilant and approach slowly.
Man, that's kind of spooky. Is that a hatch?
Huh. So it's an underground warehouse.
I'm in shock because every part of this game is beautiful. Look at this backdrop. Look at this backdrop that we have in this game.
The force is definitely coming from down below. The source of the Tatarigami energy has long since left this place, but the residue it left behind still hasn't dissipated completely.
Man, you're good at this, Kazuha.
Judging from the concentration, I would have to conclude that the Tatarigami source resided here for a very long time.
Mrs. Nagato said her husband used to hang around the warehouse by himself a lot.
It could well be that he was already under the influence of Tatarigami energy at that time.
Surely someone would have noticed.
From what I've been told, Tatarigami does not turn all upon whom it preys into violent monsters, but most will develop a stubborn streak upon being exposed to the Tatarigami's unfulfilled will. Their interests become fanatical obsessions.
Okay, that makes sense. So it's kind of like, say, like if I was into like, it's like I'm kind of into like baking chocolate cake. All of a sudden you come home and like I have 50 chocolate cakes being made, and I'm very upset at the fact that like I would not, that if you try to take these chocolate cakes away from me. So it was like let's look at the collection. Collecting all these items. Did it become an obsession after that?
Mr. Nagato had an interest in collecting to begin with. The influence of Tatarigami could explain why he became an obsessive hoarder, amassing more and more possessions, even as he put himself in grave debt.
It's like, my husband's put us in debt. My husband keeps gambling away all our money obsessively. The Tartagami energy is really hurting us. What's your husband Calvin doing there? He makes chocolate cake. Oh. Can we swap?
So what should we do now? Go down and take a look?
Yeah, I really want to take a look.
Step back. I'll open the door and take a look inside. If we don't open this door, we can move no closer to the truth.
Yep.
You needn't worry. Both of us have faced far greater dangers than this. Relatively speaking, the risk here is trivial.
What's down there?
Everything's buried in debris. I can't see anything. It looks like the fire caused a cave-in, reducing the entire warehouse to rubble.
So in the end, it was just a scare. I'm not sure if that's good or a bad thing.
That was too scary. Paimon was so sure that the warehouse boogeyman was
Oh no,
found
Paimon.
at us.
Is that a real thing?
All we can do now is keep searching
The
in
warehouse
direction that
boogeyman.
the Tatarigami energy's source left this place. 2 ordinary humans, entangled with the Tatarigami. I fear much misfortune has already befallen them.
Yeah, let's hurry.
Yes, let's go. If nothing else, it's vital that we find out where this
His hair is so
Tatarigami energy is coming
cool.
from. Quiet your mind and focus on what you sense around you. Perhaps you, too, will perceive its ominous presence in the wind.
Every Genshin character in this game, by the way, has the posture of someone who's posing for like a Gucci ad or like a modeling gig. Look at this. Look at the stance. Every literally well, maybe not Benny. No, Benny as well. Look, like this with the arched kind of back and stuff. It's really funny.
Time to go.
Follow the scent and look for clues. So I guess we're using our. Oh, here we go. It's over this way. Oh wow, the scent is just there. Look at that. Holy hell, man. Look what Kazuha's teaching us. Good man, Kazuha. This is pretty cool, right? Oh.
From this point, the trail appears to split into 2.
So is that 2 different people?
The main source of the Tatarigami energy continued on into the distance, but a small portion remained here and seems to be dissipating slowly. Quite possibly. Let's search the area.
Let's go.
Whoa! Look at all those hilly churls.
Yeah.
They're acting really strangely.
Jeez, they're going. They're
Something
ripping
seems to
parts
be
of
drawing
stuff.
their attention. Let's take a closer look.
What the? These should be studied. What were they doing? They're like little rats.
Into the wind.
Let's light it up.
Oh, did you get pulled into that? You poor hilly trolls.
The wind knows me. It's...
Ugh! Look at this red stuff.
Red stuff.
What is it?
By the looks of it, a letter written on a piece of torn clothing. The ink is bone dry. It must have been written quite some time ago. Well, let's take a look.
I am Nagato. I was wounded by Amenoma Yuya. He took my most precious blade. I chased him, but I could not catch him. I lay down here to rest on account of my exhaustion. I thought that I might croak right here. My stomach kept on bleeding, but it seemed that some strange power had sustained me. Why did he steal that blade? I was going to sell it to him. He even burned down my warehouse. Ah, it hurts. But for some reason I can't fall unconscious. So all I can do is distract from the pain is right. What will happen to Sachicho, Yuichi, Yuji? I'm sorry to them. I really am. Only now do I realize I was stuck in my ways I was, now blind to my obsession. I must have been cursed. I collected all those strange and bizarre things, but they won me not one iota of happiness or warmth. Put all of it together, and it still wouldn't have been worth a single word from her mouth. Thank you. I'm sorry for letting you down. That's horrible. Horribly sad.
According to this letter, a conflict arose because Amenoma Yuya
Realizing
wanted
it
to
on your,
seize
like,
a
deathbed?
blade belonging to Mr. Nagato.
Horrible.
Yuya started the fire that destroyed the warehouse and wounded Mr. Nagato in the fight. Mr. Nagato kept chase as long as he could, eventually stopping here to write this letter when his strength gave out.
So, where is he?
He was not only mortally wounded, but also under the heavy influence of Tatarigami. Add to that the fact that its aura seems to have attracted a horde of monsters, and I'm afraid he may no longer be with us. Whatever traces there may have been of his fate beyond after this point, they've since been disturbed by the hilly churls.
So sad. And the
There's
hilly
nothing
churls as
more
well.
for us to find here.
It was kind of unnerving, wasn't it? That's the Tenryou commission to do is thorough search later.
Yes. Right now, we need to uncover some more important truths.
Sure.
If Amenoma Yuya is attacking other people indiscriminately, then the longer we take to find him, the more people risk meeting the same tragic end.
Right, so let's get moving.
It's not in his nature.
I wouldn't be surprised if he, too, fell prey to the influence of the Tatarigami. For a practitioner of the martial arts, the easiest desire to inflame would be their pursuit of further power and skill. All the clues that at first seemed disparate and disconnected, it seems that now we know the thread that runs between them. I have a hypothesis that, if it's correct, not only explains the series of events leading to the two men's disappearance, but also zeroes in on the attacker's identity.
Wait, you figured it out? So these two cases are connected after all?
I believe so. But it's something of an outlandish idea. I will only be able to confirm my suspicions once we've met him in person. On with the search. We must stay vigilant. At any point now, we may find ourselves in danger.
And when he says that, I believe it. You know, when he says I believe it. Yeah, I'm like, super, so keep following the scent. Oh yeah, go deeper. Whoa, man, look at this. This is what I love about this game. They always make like exploration like fun. You know what I mean? It's always like very, very fun. And with Kazuha, it's even more fun. It's crazy how many good characters. I know like it shouldn't be this crazy at this stage because of how much fun we've had with these characters, but Kazuha's such a good character too.
He seems to have stayed here for a long time.
Why here? Is there anything special about this place?
I'm not sure. But on closer examination, I sense that the aura may have lingered here at several different points in time.
You notice something?
Show yourself.
Oh my god!
It's no use hiding anymore.
When Kazuha raising his voice is so rare. Oh, and there's the energy. Yeah, that's him. That's him. With the Taratagami energy, like, kind of surrounding him there.
Kaidehara Kazuha. It's you, at last.
Aha! So it is the same
Yeah.
guy from before. What's your problem, huh? What could you possibly have against Kazuha?
Indeed, there should be no enmity between us. If it is Amenoma Yuya that stands before us. But what if instead of facing Amenoma Yuya, we are in fact facing the blade in his hand?
The blade itself, the one that he tried to buy? So the collector's item.
Now that you mention it, it is giving off a strange light. Whoa! Surely you don't mean...
Paimon,
Tatarigami energy often lodges itself within physical objects, then works to subtly affect any living organisms in its vicinity. The blade has resided in Mr. Nagato's warehouse for many years, affecting his state of mind, and more recently using the sale as a means to affect, or rather, as a means to occupy Amenoma Yuya's
that's
body.
actually crazy, like attaching itself to an item that they know people will pick up.
You're sharper than I thought. You've already deduced the truth of the matter. Many, many years ago, I was forged by a famed bladesmith of the Isshin
Oh my god,
tradition.
he's
I was
He's the
his
spirit
pride
of a
and joy.
sword.
In me, he placed all his hopes and dreams. As a descendant of the Kaedehara clan, you should be able to guess our greatest regret.
I presume it has something to do with the Raiden Gokaden.
Indeed. At that point in time, he failed to live up to the Raiden Shogun's expectations. In the end, all he could do was to flee the nation by sea on a ship bound for Snezhnaya. He was a bladesmith of great renown, a master of his craft. There was nothing that he could not accomplish. All he needed was more time and a little faith. And sure enough, in the end, he achieved what he had set out to do. All of his life's work, his wisdom, his skill, it culminated in his creation of me.
It's actually so cool, like, that we're actually talking to, like, a spirit of a sword.
He not only bestowed upon me the greatest of strength, but also endowed me with a consciousness of my own. In her conceit, the Raiden Shogun lost not only the single most perfect blade in the entire world, but also an irreplaceable achievement in the art of blade forging.
So, swords can become conscious and control people?
Yeah, it's a lot, Pai, but it's a lot.
The people of the time in which I was born never believed I had that kind of power. They saw me as a mere blade, a sharp and well-crafted one, but in all other respects an ordinary weapon. But that gave me the opportunity to take action. After the death of my creator, I decided to leave Snezhnaya and began my long quest to return to the distant land of Inazuma. Moving from one
That's
person
actually,
to
I
the
know
next,
it's scary, but
I
it's so
controlled
sick.
the minds of countless hosts along the way.
Holy
each bringing me
hell.
one step closer to my ancestral
To travel to Inazuma,
home.
literally just handing off the sword to different people.
I seek but one thing. To face the full force of the Raiden Shogun's blade and prove my power. The might of Isshin art.
She would kill you.
So Amenoma Yuya was not your first victim. Tell me, what happens to those you've possessed when you finish?
I'm not sure I
using
want to
them?
know.
My hosts? Who cares what happens to them? They are but tools that serve my mission.
That's not what you want to say in front of
When they
Kazuha.
got tired or injured or unusable, I hopped to the next one in line. All I needed them for was to take me back to Inazuma.
You're awful.
Yep.
After I returned to Inazuma, I decided to bide my time in Nagato's warehouse until Amenoma Yuya handed himself over to me on a silver platter. At long last, I'm approaching my journey's destination. By Amenoma Yuya's body, I have found you, and by your hand, I shall defeat the Raiden
So he
Shogun.
wants to go into Kazuha's hand because he knows that Kazuha was able to defend against the Raiden Shogun.
Kaedehara Kazuha, you stood against the Raiden Shogun's
No, you ain't getting
Muso no
Kazuha.
Itachi. There can be no other to serve as my host.
We
for
gotta
what is
end this
to
now.
come.
We gotta end this now.
Now, give your body over to me.
No. If you're gonna ask for Kazuha in that, like, to ask for someone's body, you have to say it in a nice way and not an evil way. Okay, bro. Listen here. I got something for you. That's Benny's Inventative Assemble right there. See that right there? This is electricity right there as well.
Come, sever
Oh, we're doing a trial with Kazuha. I always wanted to use.
Join me and sever that divine light.
I've always wanted to use Kazuha. I mean, like, honestly, like I feel that a lot of people would have tried them because not everyone has Kazuha. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. It's not like I'm making a joke here, but like the trials are really freaking sick for letting you know which character you want to wish on as well. At least I find anyway. Yeah, we got him.
Fallen leaves, adorn my night.
Look at that. I'm gonna switch to Zing's show as well.
Do not stand in my way, or I will strike you down.
Are you talking to us?
Your bluff's fooling no one. You've lost.
Yeah, get him, Paimon.
Lost. I can never lose. It is this body that has reached its limit, nothing more. Even if you defeat me here, the one who falls will not be me, but this man.
That's, oh my god, that's
He's
actually a bit of
but
a...
puppet that can be replaced. I can take a new vessel at will.
Something tells me that then we will smash into pieces might not work.
The end result is the same. I will end this wretch's life before you can lift a finger. And even if I were to lose my physical form, it is but a small setback.
Jesus,
my
man. Oh, Paimon's
shall
frustrated.
Endure. By any means necessary and any medium available, I shall return and fulfill my destiny.
Would it be a good thing to like tell I and let I just like kill, like destroy the sword? You know what I mean? Like, cause like I would win. Like I'm fully confident I would win. Like 100%. So would it be like okay, just be like, hey, you want to fight this guy?
Your fighting style. It is indeed the forms of Isshin art.
Oh, go on, get him.
But from your movements, I sense only hatred
Oh, get him.
and arrogance.
Yeah.
As well as a thinly veiled mania and despair.
Oh, and Kazuha's getting him in like where it hurts.
Really? You can
know?
tell all that just from his moves?
As I've mentioned before, the forms of Isshin art convey the user's thoughts and feelings. Since the blade is currently possessing Amenoma Yuya's body, its movements express the innermost thoughts of the blade. If you ask me, the mania is probably due to your desperate, single-minded ambition. You believe I am your only hope.
Are you trying to claim that I am helpless without you?
Man, you said it yourself. I think you delusionally tried to explain that you needed him in a way that made it sound like you didn't need him. You're like, I'm gonna get your body and then I'm gonna defeat the Raiden Shogun. When what really you were saying is like, I need this body to defeat the Raiden Shogun. You said it yourself, bud.
On his deathbed, he passed to me all of Isshin Art's secrets. The little that you know barely scratches the surface.
Then walk up right now to the Raiden Shogun's palace, knock on the door and say, hey, I would like a fight, please. And see what happens. I am pretty sure there's a lot of soldiers would stop you before you got there.
In that regard, why would I ever need your help?
Dude, you're asking for his body. That is what Kazuha is saying. He is delusional. Like, he has already proclaimed that he wants his body because he is the one who would be able to stand up against the Raiden Shogun, and that if, combined with his sword, that's what he needs.
Because all of that is in the past. I've been wondering why you've not caused more trouble in all the years that you've been in Inazuma. If you are indeed a cursed blade that can possess its owner. Now that I've seen inside your mind, everything finally makes sense. You weren't biding your time.
Kazuha.
You were trapped.
He's so smart.
After all the time that's passed, you have grown weak. To the point that you are now unable to acquire a new host without making physical contact.
Oh, that's right. Paimon remembers now. Mr. Nagato had a habit of never touching his collectibles.
Right, so until he was going to sell the sword.
Only when Mr. Nagato witnessed his wife's distress and decided to sell his collectibles did you finally have an opportunity to reach out to Amenoma Yuya and make your escape.
And what of it?
What of it you saying?
Well, that brings me to my second point. There's a despair in you that is so strong it threatens to overwhelm you. You were determined to fulfill your maker's ambition, whatever the cost. But this ambition is too grand and too heavy for you to bear. Each step you have taken has come at a great cost. I think you realized your limitations long ago. The more you clenched your teeth and pressed forward, the greater your fear of losing everything you had achieved grew, and the more you wished to run from the truth.
So freaking well written.
But the way I see it, what began as an ambition has long since become a delusional fantasy.
If you guys want to clap, I'll let people clap for that.
What would you know about any of this? I'm just one step away from achieving my goal.
You returned to Inazuma to prove the unparalleled brilliance of Isshin art. But to make this arduous journey, you committed countless atrocities and showed a blatant disregard for human life.
Yeah, and when he was talking about, like, I don't need your help, he doesn't even see that Kazuha as, like, a living thing. He's like, I'm just going to take your body. And that's not me getting your help. But it clearly is.
Even if you were to sever that divine light, is this truly the outcome that
Kazuha turning his back to him as well is so effective.
Sure, you inherited the secrets of Isshin art. But even as you made your journey to honor this legacy, you treated the ones who wielded you as mere tools to do your bidding. How could you possibly unleash the full potential of Isshin art when you act in perfect discordance with the principle of harmony between a blade and its bearer?
Silence, you blabbering fool! I must achieve my goal. This was his life's dream, and the very purpose for which I was brought into being. I will concede that you are most perceptive.
Yeah,
you
he, like,
see my predicament
read you like
clearly.
a book.
But you also underestimate my resolve.
And you should face reality.
Oh, Kazuha.
Easy for you to say. Facing reality offers me nothing.
Kazuha has had to literally, like, not only face reality, but like make so many compromises in his life to just be at peace.
I have no need of anything that would stand in my way. Not hesitation, not self-reflection, and certainly not your so-called reality.
Those three things help quite a bit sometimes.
It is pointless to argue further, descendant of the Kaedahara clan. If you wish to save this man, then offer me your body in exchange.
So like, yeah, this guy's not worth anything that he thinks he is.
Stubbornly you stick to your wayward path.
He thinks he's better than he is.
I do not believe for a second that you can challenge the almighty shogun in your current state. So let us make a bet.
What?
And I will put your strength to the test.
Kazuha?
What? Surely you're not planning to.
What is he planning to do? Is he actually just gonna fight the Rain Shogun?
Very well. Then find yourself some enemies with whom you wish to cross blades. A taste of my power will more than convince you.
This is insane.
Once we have dealt with them, we shall proceed to Tenshukaku.
And as for your end of the bargain, if you lose, you must release Amenoma Yuya from your control.
I accept.
Don't do this, Kazuha!
You're dealing with a cursed blade that can possess people. It's a risky strategy. I want to I wish there was like an option to support him because like while actually no, I think the fear is okay. I think the fear is more than okay. But I think at the same time, Kazuha has shown during this whole conversation that not only is he cool as heck, right? He's so cool, but he's very confident in what he's saying. Like, I think that he is like the ultimate self-reflector. We've seen that in the way he is already, like, way he talked to Sarah and forgave Sarah. Not forgave her, but I keep saying forgave. But, like, accepted Sarah and been like, okay, I accept the changes in Izuma. I'm happy with the changes in Izuma. He is someone who is, like, so self-reflective and so good at, like, compromise. I trust him. I trust him with my life.
This is the only way to save Amenoma Yuya. If we don't do this, he'll forever be the Blade's puppet.
Like, he's a better person than most characters could be.
The Cursed Blade's strength is currently very weak, and I sense he's hesitating. This suggests his heart is still not completely devoid of honor.
Good.
The power of the Tatarigami lies in intensifying existing obsessions. This is the reason Mr. Nagato and Amenoma Yuya fell prey to it. Since I don't have any similar kinds of obsessions, I should be able to put up some resistance for a while.
That's such smart writing. The fact that, like, he, like, all he wants is just, like, he doesn't have an obsession. All he wants is just to, like, you know, wander around the place. He loves seeing Inazuma. Like, he doesn't have anything that's, like a selfish goal.
But even so...
Even if things take a turn for the worse, I still have you both here with me.
Oh my god.
I have a chance here to save an innocent victim. I am willing to accept the risks entailed.
All right, fine, but man, like, we're here.
Your disdain for me betrays your woeful ignorance. I agreed to this bet because there are things I wish to learn too.
Great voice acting here as well. Who is the voice acting for the prize Isshin Blade?
Now, take me in your hand.
Oh my god. What's it gonna be like with him? And also, can you get this weapon? Oh, Kazuha.
Kazuha?
I'm okay. I felt a little dizzy at first, but only for a moment. It's all right. So far, this was as I expected.
Yeah, if something's off, you have to let us know right away.
I will. Thank you.
Oh my god, our sweetheart. Our absolute sweetheart.
What should we do next? Have you got a plan, Kazuha?
We find some enemies. Although this blade has endured much turmoil, it probably hasn't experienced many real fights.
Yeah, buddy.
If a blade built for Isshin art cannot enter a state of harmony between blade and bearer, it cannot unleash its true power. If he wants to avoid reality, then we need to fight until he has no choice but to face it. He shouldn't last long in an intense combat situation.
Man.
Wait a minute.
I'm actually like really excited to see
remember
this.
hearing about something from the Adventurers Guild. Since the Takasukasa clan abandoned that secret base, it's been held by Ronin ever since.
That should fit the bill.
Ah, all right. Please lead the way.
What about Amenoma Yuya? What should we do with him?
The blade says he'll let Amenoma Yuya trail us silently.
What?
Although he hasn't regained his own consciousness yet, he is not in any immediate danger.
So we're just gonna be walking through with this guy behind us?
This is a good idea. It's a pretty treacherous journey.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Just be careful.
Yeah, we'll deal with it. We'll deal with it for sure. So he's gonna walk behind us silently. This is actually pretty freaking crazy. A crazy mission. The fact that he let himself get possessed. But again, like, I've said this throughout the whole mission, and I truly believe this. He is the king of compromise. He's the king of like accepting like fate. He's the king of like, and like, I you know, reality. Oh, is there a chest up here? Oh, cool.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Yeah, he is like the king of compromise, the king of understanding reality. And in a way that, like, you know, he doesn't even have to. That's what's always so sad about Kazuha. It's like, he could 100% if he wanted to, and I would support him. If he went up to, said to me right now, I want to confront AA, and I want to confront everyone who, like, supports her, and I want to be angry. I want to be upset. We'd support him 100%. Even though, like, we're friends with A, I think it's 100% okay to be angry, and he probably is upset. He's probably dealt with that for years. He's had years to be upset. He's had years to be sad. But for the greater good of everyone else, the greater good of Inazuma and his own health, he understands as well. He's made compromise, and here once again, he's making another freaking compromise. Let's do this. Should we use it? I think we'll use the Kazuha for this thing, but I think we're using him all the time, so I might use Gene Squad because we haven't used Gene Squad in a while. Yeah, because we're probably going to get Kazuha as a guest, right? Oh, it's just Kazuha anyway, yeah. Okay.
Leave everything on this journey to me.
So we're, yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
Into the wind.
Man, it's setting him on fire. Wait, it's setting him on fire? And then if we do that with the swirl.
One with nature.
That's gonna be sick, man. Are you kidding me? You're all on fire. All on fire. Please bring water.
As one with wind and cloud.
As one with wind and cloud, am I right, guys? So freaking sick. So sick.
How are you feeling? You okay?
Of course, Mother Paimon checking in on him.
I'm all right. The blade is performing largely as I expected. Having gone so long without proper use and maintenance, it's become very difficult
This
to
is
use.
must be one of his clan's like stances because he does this quite a bit. Even when he's putting in his sword, he does that too.
Though he's making every effort to persevere, I do not think he can last much longer.
Something else on your mind?
How strange. Rather than trying to control me, he is instead trying to match my fighting rhythm.
Whoa.
Let's keep going.
This is sick. This is absolutely sick. In the best way possible, the way, the best type of sick.
Time to go.
More of these guys. Look at this. Hello, how are you?
The wind knows me.
I love the mix of the fire and the freaking swirl. I wonder if you could get this weapon. Not that it'd probably be very dangerous, like in canon-wise it'd be very dangerous, but like the idea of having a sword that inflicts fire damage and then like getting a swirl in after that is pretty sick. He did it like that? I mean, his swirl is pretty freaking crazy.
Something's up with the blade.
It's grown dimmer?
I can sense that his strength is slowly fading away. The blade is becoming more and more difficult for me to wield.
Fair enough.
He cannot hold out much longer. If he keeps persisting, he will likely break apart at any moment.
But what would that do to Amenoma Yuya?
I will be careful with it.
Yep.
He also says he does not have any plans to give up easily.
He seemed pretty determined.
He's still trying to achieve his goal.
Let's go, man. This is so sick. I'm gonna oh my god, I'm gonna kind of miss these domains. I love this game so much. I love this game so freaking much. I really do. Oh. Oh, it's just one? Okay.
Into the wind.
Or maybe it's dragging fire from around us into the... Oh, that might be what it might be the sword doing the fire damage. It might just be us, like, getting fire dragged into, like... Oh, I love the way it slashes the sword. Yeah, it might be us dragging the fire from the torches into it. Kazuha's so cool.
One with nature. As one with wind and cloud. Into the wind.
Really cool.
Are you okay? It looked like you were really struggling the entire fight.
Yes. And it looks like he's reached his limit.
The sheen's grown a bit dimmer again. It doesn't look anywhere near as impressive as it did at the start.
Perhaps this time we'll finally have a chance to see his true form.
True form? What are you talking about? Is this the same blade as before? It looks like a piece of junk.
Yeah, it is a lot of wear and tear, but that actually makes the sword look cooler. There's a sword I'm trying to think of. I'll try to find it. It's like it's a movie that I used to watch, and the sword is like jagged, and it looks so freaking cool. But like I'll definitely show you that sword if I can. It looks really cool. I think it makes it look cool.
If you choose to continue in the state you're in, you wouldn't even be able to beat Samurai and Kairagi, much less the almighty Shogun.
Well, I was thinking you couldn't do that full power.
Maybe you did truly wield power to rival the Shogun's light when first forged. But the long journey from Snezhnaya back to Inazuma has left you battered and broken.
Whilst at the opposite end of the spectrum, Kazuha's journey back to Inazuma from Liyue and Mondstadt, from Liyue, I guess, like his convictions only made him stronger. His journey only made him stronger.
It barely needs stating anymore. Your ambition is a flight of fancy.
Though the truth is right there in front of him.
I finally figured out why it was that you agreed to my bet. You wanted to reach a state of harmony with me. For perhaps then you would still be able to wield commendable power. But regrettably, we are nothing alike. I will never understand your obstinacy and cruelty.
Yes.
Nor can I empathize with the one who made you. The only one who truly understood you had already passed away by the time you were born.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
Here they are! Take them down!
Wait.
Where do they keep coming from?
You shouldn't fight with this blade anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, here we go. So
Don't
does he
worry.
mean...
I'll use my own blade.
Yeah.
It's just more of the same.
Heck yeah. So this here, I think, like... Oh, Kazuha's just doing himself. He's just doing himself. What blade does he have, by the way? I can't even see it. It's like the... Oh, he has a different blade. I'm using the Iron Sting for my Kazuha.
The wind knows me.
Yeah, I think we're using the fire from around the torches, which is actually like a really cool thing.
Adorn my night.
That's sick. The fact that we're using the fire from the torches.
You fought way better with your own sword.
Yeah, destroyed him.
You are a true Kaedehara in flesh and in spirit. Though we fought briefly together, you have seen me for who I really am. No one knew anything of my story throughout my travels, nor did I tell it to anyone. You are the first person to know the truth. I thought that if I could achieve Isshin harmony with you, perhaps there would still be a ray of hope for me.
But in this too, you have failed.
Indeed. No matter how hard I tried, I could not attain that perfect harmony that your personal blade does with you. Too much time has passed. My physical state is poor, and without proper maintenance, I can only disguise my true appearance behind an outer sheen. Yours is the blade that took on the Muso no Hitotachi.
Yep.
And what a magnificent blade it is. Perhaps I shall never reach that level of glory.
And having to look at yourself in the face here, having to like face your own, like having, and again, it does so relate to not only the stories you've heard today, when it came to like, you know, having to give up the stuff that you love, like with the hoarder or whatever, but also like, you know, with Kazuha, like again, having to like, you know, learn how to compromise, having to learn that like, you know, it's like, and again, like I said again, he doesn't have to compromise, but the fact that he has learned to do this is absolutely incredible.
Actually, this is just a generic blade that I picked up
So
during
sick.
my travels in Liyue.
So sick, he's just good.
What?
Forging and maintenance are both important for a blade, but they are not everything.
Yep.
This blade has traveled the land with me
Artifacts
for many years
as well,
and we have formed a close bond during that time. Plus, in the moment that I most needed it, I received aid from another power. Skill, blade, determination, and desire. All these must be aligned in the practice of Isshin art. There is something else I must tell you. Though your maker may not have been aware, your ability to possess your own consciousness derived from the power of the Tatarigami. Tatarigami is a malevolence from the ancient past. It is the source of your mania and savagery. Though you tried to cooperate with me while I was wielding you, the part of you driven by Tatarigami was constantly trying to seize control of my body.
right? There was no harmony there.
I sensed it, but I couldn't change it. It is an integral part of my consciousness.
I resisted its temptations because I wanted to save Amenoma Yuya. But I do not know whether you yourself have any intention of trying to fight it. I feel a great sense of regret for you. Since you embarked on a journey bound for a destination you were destined never to reach.
Holy hell. The writing. The writers were like, what if we gave every good line in the history of Genshin to Kazuha?
The moment you embarked on this journey, you lost the only person who could have ever unleashed your true potential. And yet there was no way for you to turn your back on his ambition.
Jesus.
You have known this for a long time. It is the true source of your despair.
He gave me everything. My life, my form, my consciousness, and purpose. How could I possibly deny him his
Great voice acting.
I said to him, "Do not worry. From here on, I shall forge your legacy." How could I go back on my word?
Aww.
I believe our bet is now settled. I have nothing further to say.
Yeah, Kazuha's all about. He's like, man, look, you made the bet.
Where are you going, Kazuha?
Just leaving.
He now has neither the ability nor the motivation to cause further harm. Let's give him some time to reflect on this.
Kazuha. Like, unintentionally cool. Unintentionally one of the coolest characters ever. You know? Like, and he's not trying to be cool. He's not, like, trying his best to be cool. He is just cool. And it's cool that he's not trying his best, you know?
When I touched the hilt for the first time, it's as if I was
There's a chest right there.
transported to a strange dimension. It was somewhere I've never been. A bladesmith lay quietly on the bed, his frail face barely visible under the moonlight. His breaths were weak, and his life near its end. A newly forged blade lay by his side, listening attentively to his final words.
Wow. That was the Blade's memory, wasn't it?
Indeed. While in exile in Snezhnaya, the bladesmith eventually learned the truth behind everything that had happened. The Isshin art had been dealt a devastating blow by the desertion of its best smiths. He spent the rest of his life in the forge, not to vent his frustration and hatred, but to atone for his actions. He felt intense regret at being tricked by the Fatui, but he could never again return to his homeland. His sole wish was to one day return his single proudest creation back to the land of his birth. So he instructed this sentient blade to find a way back to Inazuma, no matter how long or how hard the journey. But he never wished to rival the gods.
That's incredible. It's like the way like the Ring of Power like always is trying to find his way back to like Sauron.
All he wanted to show was that they once shone brilliantly as blade and smith. That they were still worthy of being trusted.
Especially after all the things that like they're them being forced to leave to Shiznaya.
So that's the truth.
That's so beautiful. They were like they left for Shiznaya because they were like what's the word you could look for, like disgraced is probably the best way to look for it. And then like sending a powerful blade imbued with memories back to Inazuma to show that like they are still respected and they can be trusted.
But after that, the blacksmith's intentions were
beautiful
by the Tatarigami, slowly turning his proud creation into the cursed blade of today.
Right. I believe the bladesmith might never have known that the power he worked with was that of the Tatarigami. The hatred within that power is what sent the blade down its ill-fated path. This blade has committed unforgivable atrocities, but only because it lost its original master. No one was there to correct its errors when it was losing its way.
This is so incredible. There was no one there to be like to set him on the right path.
Shame it's too late now.
Yes, it is too late. Time would not wait or stop because of his determination. While the world moved on, his ambition remained stubbornly stuck at that fleeting moment at the dawn of his journey.
And again, like if I can like somehow, and I think it's like maybe not intentional, but like to me this always relates back to Kazuha as well in a way with the, like because I do feel like he is someone who is quite the opposite of this journey in terms of like being imbued with Taratagami. He is someone who like, wasn't stubborn about like staying in this position. He's not someone who lives in the past. He's so moved by the idea of moving forward, but in a way that's like against the idea of the Raiden Shogun's idea of moving forward.
He seems to have calmed down, though. Let's go and check in.
I love it. Freaking love it. Or the former way that the Raiden Shogun used to think about moving forward. Yeah. Don't want to slander now that we're best friends.
When I look back at the past, I can remember the day of my forging like it was just yesterday. I once told him that I would pay any price to fulfill his wishes. Such was the debt I owed to him for giving me the gift of consciousness. But darkness and slaughter numbed the mind. Over time, I lost sight of the difference between gratitude and grudge.
Still can't get over how good the voice acting is.
Not only did I fail to fulfill his ambition, I also defiled it.
You are finally seeing reality clearly.
And when he said he didn't need reality.
Since we agreed to the terms of the bet, I will honor the agreement and release Amenoma Yuya.
Good.
But I still cannot bring myself to forsake his ambition. It is the entire purpose for my existence. So, may I ask you to help me fulfill the ambitions of myself and my creator?
So good.
Hey! Now you're adding yours into the mix too? Jeez, don't push your luck, mister.
Mister? I'm sorry. She is like a mother.
It has to be done in this order. At least hear what I have to say. And if you don't agree, I will still release Amenoma Yuya as promised.
That's fair.
My physical form, as well as the knowledge I possess, should still be of some value to you.
His attitude has grown a lot milder. What do you think, Kazuha? Should we give him a chance?
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I'll go with Kazuha.
Thank you all. When I was first forged, my maker was already terminally
Oh no.
ill. He told me that he had wanted me to have the grandest opening battle. Alas, after that, he never rose from his sickbed again. Nor have I ever had the chance to prove myself in battle since. My fights were devoid of any noble meaning. They were merely the next step in my never-ending journey, the next in a long line of transgressions. You are a fine warrior. I would like to request your hand in battle and experience a true duel between samurai.
Oh? And who would be the opponent?
I will release Amenoma Yuya and restore his consciousness. Perhaps after that, you can convince
we could fight,
him to commit
like
to
a fair fight.
You must have plenty of reasons to both hate me and desire a good fight.
Understood. Then let's start by waking him up and seeing if he has the stamina and will to fight.
Imagine waking up after a week and you're like, oh, what? Hey, bro, you gotta fight. Come on. Get it, bro. Come on.
I see. He used my body to inflict harm on others. I utterly despise him and his actions, but since he stayed true to your agreement by releasing me, he must still have some remaining semblance of honor. If a duel can help to set this state of affairs in order, I am willing to put myself forward. I do not wish to be a mere victim in this story.
There's no need to worry. We'll vouch for your innocence to the Tenryou Commission.
Thanks for your help. Who knows how this would have ended without your intervention.
All right, then let's move on. More Ronin could appear at any moment. We can't stay here. In any case, for a final duel, I think we should aim for a greater sense of ceremony.
Whereabouts? Nice. So where is he thinking? I wonder where he's thinking. Man. Oh my god, I got chills when I saw the beach, like the coastline. Holy hell, I got chills. A battle on the frickin' beach? Kurosawa style?
This reminds Paimon a bit of the Crux Clash.
That was a much more relaxed occasion.
Yep, we still can't let our guard down. Even now, Paimon has a sneaking suspicion that Blade hasn't told us everything.
Yeah, and you can be there to knock him out, Paimon, when he comes out.
Still, even if he's way past the point of redemption, it's hard not to feel a teensy bit sorry for him.
This is Mother Paimon, I'm telling you.
Are you ready?
Look at this.
Ready? Okay. All right then.
Oh my god, okay.
Successor of Isshin art.
Look at this.
Kaidahara Kazuha.
Successor of Amenoma art. Amenoma Yuya.
This is so sick. The two families. Look at the crab.
Honored to cross blades with you.
This is so sick. Oh my god.
It is my honor also.
This is so good. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so sick. Swirly dirlies, am I right, guys? Look at that. This is so cool.
That hurts.
In the middle of an honorable duel. Ah! That hurt though.
One with nature.
Oh, he's starting to realize what I'm doing. He's getting out of the way of the swirl.
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
Where'd he go? Oh, here he is. Hello.
Into the wind.
Probably not totally fair because we have like probably one of the sickest visions ever. Very cool. And then Fisher just shows up in the end.
Thank you.
Creating another universe.
Although he appears battered and broken, in your hands it seems he's regained a glimmer of brilliance.
Sick.
His sense of savage cruelty has completely faded away. But that same sense of determination remains strong.
You also fought well. I'm sure he relished the experience. There are a few things that I shall leave him to tell you himself.
I must apologize to you for all that has transpired.
You need not seek my forgiveness, nor do I have the right to forgive you on your victim's behalf. It is too late.
The rain as well.
I do not wish for forgiveness. I only hope that you will see my transgressions as mine alone and not let them stain the legacy of Isshin art. I strayed far from the straight and narrow path, but the Isshin art still has a worthy successor in Kaedehara Kazuha.
I know, I always have to tell you guys whenever I get like goosebumps and chills all over my arms. That one moment right there.
I beseech you, please understand this.
Yes, I too trust Mr. Kaedehara to do the right thing.
Oh my god.
Thank you, successor of Amenoma.
There's so much weight on Kazuha's shoulders now, you know, from all sides.
This blade has also told me that he has another wish. He would like to visit the Amenoma smithy. Maybe we can go back there together.
Yeah.
What does he want to go there for?
I'm not sure, but I think that all this is about to come to an end.
Very pleased with this. Yeah, like I said, Kazuha is like, he has pressure coming from all sides now, and like, he's not folding. And like, he has, you know, the people of Inazuma looking to him for what he did with the Raiden Shogun. He has now people saying that he could be the, look at the storm, man. He has people looking at him as someone who could like, bring a lot of peace together in this place from like the Tenryou Commission and A as well. He's someone who was like a fugitive just a while back, and that also like gives a lot of hope to a lot of people who got their visions taken away too. And now also he is someone who has to take on the pride of the Isshin arts too. I feel like he has a lot.
Oh, it's Yuya. You have returned.
I am sorry to have troubled you. It's all thanks to them that I was able to return safely.
We found them in a bin.
A prized Isshin blade, turned weapon that controls the human mind. Considering their forging philosophy, this was indeed within the realm of possibility. But I have some good news as well. Ryuji from the Bonton Sango Detective Agency
oh my
tells
god!
me that they found the missing Mr. Nagato.
I've become so invested in this that it actually makes me very happy that this has happened.
Really? Is he okay?
Yes. Badly wounded, but he will live.
Sick.
And now that Yuya is back, it seems like the final ending to this story is a happy one after all.
I think I know what you want to do.
What's wrong, Kazuha? Is the blade whispering in your ear again?
Yes. He said he wants to take control of me for a brief moment.
Oh, damn.
What? No way! Hasn't it learned its lesson?
He tells me that he's thought of another way to fulfill his maker's wish. And he assures me that he won't use my body for anything nefarious. I have decided to let him do it.
Okay, we'll trust you.
Guess there's nothing we can say to change your mind, huh?
I don't think so. Yeah, I trust your judgment.
Thank you. I will explain my reasons later. Okay. I am ready. Let us begin. Please, stay true to your promise.
What's gonna happen? Oh my god! And the light went into his eyes?
My power is almost spent. Without
Holy
him, my eventual demise is inevitable. But if I abandon the future to give everything I have in this moment, my physical form can be forged anew.
Everything?
Wait.
You mean?
Yes. The cost is my entire
Oh my god. That was so well done. And look at the way he's walking, he's so cool. Oh, he's reforging it. In his This is so cool.
You were right. There's nothing that I can accomplish now.
I'm gonna like, why is this making me cry than most story quests? This is so cool.
Once remade, I will be a valuable resource for your studies.
Look at it, Kazuha, look what he's doing.
On, and its finest hour is yet to come.
The music.
Even if I am not the one to prove its
Oh my god.
As long as it is an Isshin blade.
And he's grabbed, yeah he is, he's the one crafted it.
It will still fulfill his his final wish.
Immaculate. Incredible. Oh my god.
Kaidahara clan. Over the years, my real name has been forgotten by all. I'm ashamed to utter it, yet it remains strong
Holy.
in my mind.
Oh, hell.
Kagotsurube Isshin. This name is now yours.
Oh my god.
King.
This is so beautiful.
Rest in peace.
I'm blown away.
So, that's why he said it had to be done in that order.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
His consciousness will disappear forever after fulfilling the bladesmith's wish.
I need a second just to like I want to say he said Kago Surube. Is it Kago Surube? I'm blown away.
Kagotsurube Isshin. It was the first time I ever heard his name. It seems like deep down he disapproved of his own actions, and thus chose to bury this name.
Didn't want to look at
deep within
himself,
his
you know?
Only in the final moments, before his consciousness faded, was he willing to entrust it to another.
This was so good.
Seems like he really, really wanted to fulfill his maker's wish.
The same fervent ambition that gave him the motivation to keep going forward also fueled the stubborn determination that blinded him to the path ahead. Speaking for myself, I'd rather see him recognize and atone for his mistakes than see him punished for them.
Too dangerous if you ask me. Yeah. Sleeping
I
dogs.
understand. Perhaps this is a flaw in my personality.
Oh no.
I've always been captivated by grand aspirations.
Yeah, I know. Like, I honestly, like, some people would see your forgiving nature as a flaw, but I also think that, like, it's something that's beautiful about someone. But I will say this as well. I thought, like, we were like, it's too dangerous. Like, we should let sleeping dogs. Like, we were saying it's too dangerous to not punish him.
Hearing his wish to rival the divine light touched something inside of me, just as the sight of those who fought to repeal the Vision Hunt decree did. Your quest to face the gods and trace your sibling inspires me in the same way. After everything I've seen, perhaps these pursuits fascinate me a little more than they should.
Oh, Kazuha.
I will continue to support you from this point on. Know that you will have my assistance whenever you need it.
I'll hold you to your word. Let's say it to me. Like this fits, right?
Wait, shouldn't we also go update Kujo Kamaji?
Oh, you're right. We need to tell him about the findings of our investigation.
This is where it started.
And it's also time to give him a response to the offer he made.
Oh wow. Man, this is such an important quest for the future of Inazuma. Like, this is so, like, I don't care about this. This is like Archon levels. Like, this is like I know people said that A's final quest was definitely ending. To me, like, this is also important to do. I think they all are. Like, you learn so much from Mayato's quest, from all their quests. Like you learn so much about Inazuma and its future and its fate. Holy hell.
You've returned. I hear that the issue has been resolved. Though this was a treacherous investigation indeed, we're most fortunate that no lives were lost. The Tenryou Commission has already attended to the danger at the warehouse. The investigation into Amenoma Yuya should conclude soon. I do not believe he will be charged with any crime.
Good.
Wow, you sure kept your ear to the ground.
He wants to be better than his father was.
Then we needn't recount all the details again. Now, as to your earlier offer, I wish to give you my answer. Please take a look at this blade.
What's this?
I'm killing you.
Kagotsurube Isshin, a weapon crafted using a long-lost blade forging art of the Kaidahara clan. By means of a series of fortuitous events, I was able to recover and restore him. I also promised him that I will continue to study and pass on the secrets of Isshin art. And so, it looks like I will likely continue with my journey across the nations, learning more about this blade as I go.
Right.
I see. I understand.
The Kaidahara clan has always been a family of bladesmiths, so it is only proper for me to continue
This is good.
on this
This is
path.
good. Doing something for himself.
Were I to accept your goodwill, I may find myself embroiled in conflicts between the shogunate and Sangonomiya. That would not
And
suit
that's
me.
what you have to do for yourself.
You misunderstand. That was most certainly not our intent.
But he's trying to avoid it anyway.
I am aware, but I still desire
I love
to
it.
continue walking
I love
my
it.
own path.
Very well. I can understand. Then let's pretend this offer was never raised.
No, it's on the books.
However, if you should ever change your mind or find yourself in need of the shogunate's assistance, please do not hesitate to inform me.
Great. Thank you for your generosity.
Where will you travel to next, Kazuha?
I'll
that'd
probably
be
take
sick.
to the seas with Captain Beto again.
That'd be a
for
TV
now.
show.
As for my next destination,
My house.
let's see where the wind takes me.
Oh my god. It's so funny because he has the spirit of Mondstadt, but he would not like Mondstadt, I don't think. Because people be bothering him all the time. Mondstadt's the type of Oh, we got the sword! Oh my god, we got the sword! I was gonna say that Mondstadt would be a place that like would have Kazuha constantly. Every time he wanted to stay at home and relax for a bit, they'd be like, come on, come drinking, come on. You know, even if they didn't know him. Holy hell, that was awesome. An incredible story quest. And we got our commissions too. So good. We have enough for like a bunch of wishes. I'm gonna do that maybe tomorrow because we've done a lot today in terms of this story quest. Mind blown. Like I obviously like, you know, sometimes underestimate like, you know, because it's like, oh, they're not as good. Like I feel like some of these story quests like are just as important to the story as like the Archon quests. In fact, like while like it's not like the main story itself, the adventures there we had with Kazuha like are so important to understanding where like some of these characters are at in their minds in terms of like, you know, the 10-year-old commission or even A as well, like and how they're moving forward. With all the story quests we've done in here, I really feel like now we have a incredible grip on what makes this place this place. We still have so many story quests. Look at this. But that's for other regions too, 2 other regions, which makes sense. Yeah, fantastic. In terms of hangout quests, we've done Toma. So I'm back. It's a little bit later. Had to go do something really quickly, but it's the end of this episode anyway. So I guess like when we're looking at what we're doing here, obviously we have the Haizu quest we're going to be doing at some point. I'd like to get these 2 quests like kind of like, not quests, they are quests kind of themselves. And if we can get Baiju's quest, it's a matter of getting as much keys as we can. Yelan will come very soon, probably next week as well at some point. I'm very excited to do this too, because I think we actually have to do the Interlude Act 2 to actually get this quest. Which is pretty freaking cool. It's pretty cool what we have kind of planned for us here. Yeah, we have no more To the Mist, so that's the end of that. That is the end of that world quest. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for supporting the series. This has been so cool. So cool. The second last story quest before Sumeru, which is very, very sad. But at the same time, it's exciting, right? Thank you to Tyfire 2, JB Bull, Janet the Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, George Candelaria, Eskun, Yuld, Radish, Fruity, Anusa, Shibata Bread, Malcolm Conde, V Mika, Death Trap, and Lynx Markey. Let's get this guy. No, let's do the thing.